All right, well, we'll do a 3, 2, 1 countdown.
Okay.
All right, you good, Scott?
Yep.
All right, 3, 2, 1, sync. I did not hear anyone else say anything.
Oh, I don't know we were saying it with you. Okay.
I mean, can't you determine that by the waveform? I don't see why you need to. Oh, okay, whatever.
I mean, I usually just find that one singular point to sync everything up.
We'll sync with you. Okay, go again. I'm ready.
That's all staying in. We'll do
So
it again
wait.
because-
Are we going on 3? Are we going?
Oh, we're just gonna go now. Like, just
okay.
right 3. I'm gonna say
Just
it again.
say the numbers with them.
Yeah, 3, 2,
2,
1.
Sync.
Sync.
Almost.
That was pathetic.
Boom.
Okay, we're just gonna start. I don't give a shit. All right.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, everyone.
Welcome to Digicades, aka
All right.
the podcast is ready 2.0.
Yes. If you, oh my God, I feel like I have so much to say. I'm probably just gonna have to blow it all out my ass.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, it sounds fun. Okay, so if you follow me on Twitter, or Nathaniel, or Scott Lee, aka Gamefinity Master 2.0, you will know that we are doing a podcast called the Digicast. And I know this is like the 3rd podcast on this channel. This is the last one. Swear to God, we are not making any more changes, at least not for like another year. I'm force myself to not do anything like that for another year. Basically, what's been going on is just a ton of shit. If you guys have followed the channel for a while now, you know that I've been very busy. I'm finally done moving, finally done getting a job, finally done like other shit. So things have calmed down a lot. As you all have been aware, movie reviews have moved back over to here. Some people have been questioning why I've been doing that. That's mainly because I talked to my network about it, and they said that would just be smarter to have everything in a contained place. So I decided to make that move back over here, and yeah, it's partly because it's just a bigger potential audience, so it just made more sense. That's where I've been at. How are you lovely boys doing today?
I am doing
Fantastic.
quite well.
Quite
What'd you do today, Scott?
What did I do today?
What'd you do today?
Like today? I didn't do.
No, yesterday. Today.
I didn't do anything like fantastic or productive at all. Actually, I literally did housekeeping.
well, question: did you take a shit? Did
Ooh.
that at least happen?
That happened earlier today. Yeah, but
Then you did something productive.
Well, okay.
There you
if
go.
you want to look at it that way, sure. Yeah.
So there you go. I didn't really do much today, and yes, guys, we will be getting about games, but this is very casual. This is a casual podcast. We will have topics, and as you can see, I will have titled the video accordingly. I don't know what that's going to be yet. Probably something stupid and snarky.
Sounds like you.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, actually, really quick, I want to address this. John. The whole thing with John, me and him had a talk a few weeks back, and me and him basically just agreed on the fact that he just wanted to let the channel move on without him. He was never too adamant about doing things, by himself on here, and since I moved, there's just a lot of things we can't do now, so it kind of came down to he just wasn't really passionate enough about it anymore, so that's basically it, and I'm just going to leave it at that.
But he probably still loves all of you just as much as he always has.
I would assume so.
With a passion.
Yes.
A bleeding passion. But that's kind of why we also rebranded to the Digicast, because the Cast of Us and Strawberry Lemonade, those were like me and John's thing, so this is our thing now. This will be something we more than likely will be doing weekly. We're looking at recording on Sundays. Yeah. And the good thing about 3 of us being here is, hey, I can't be here. These 2 schmucks can handle it. Or if Scott can't be here because he's a busy little boy, then I'm sure me and Nate can crack it out like old good times.
Yep.
Or I can just be here spouting bullshit by myself, too, if they're both busy. So, yeah. Yeah.
It's
What
genius.
are we talking about today?
Yeah, we should probably actually talk about some games. Yeah. Because this is a gaming podcast. So, I don't want to start off talking about Paper Mario Color Splash because I need to work myself up to that.
Oh,
because
God.
there's going to be a lot of passion just coming out of my mouth hole area.
Oh.
So, that was such... I don't even know what expression to give you for that. because that was just very awkward. So I'm gonna dive in here. Awesome Metroid 2 remake. Scott, give me your thoughts. You are the Metroid expert here on the channel. I don't really do much with that series. I'm interested to hear your thoughts.
Sure. I mean, I don't know if I'm a Metroid expert at all, actually.
You are a Metroid expert. You're a god, as I'd like to call you, but some people might not agree.
Well, okay. You know, the first video I came out with about Metroid was talking about mostly the story and stuff like that. And then people like criticize me for not getting more into the games, like the actual gameplay and the contents of the mechanics and all that stuff. Anyway,
that's because it's the internet. You're wrong. You're wrong if you put an opinion.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, just
everyone is always wrong. I'm actually wrong about everything. But no, with the remake for Metroid that fans have done, and there have been many other projects like this in the past. This is definitely not the first thing that has ever been done by a fan for remaking a popular game. It's just a common theme right now of like people want to be able to create their own content around Nintendo, and they want to be able to do whatever they think is a contribution as like, you know, this is what we have to contribute because we love this. You know, we love Metroid. We want to express our gratitude in this way. In this particular case, by spending 10 years to create this project. 10 years, I believe.
Oh my God.
To create this project. That's right.
That's insane.
To create this project as it exists today, and Nintendo has basically said no, and people are really upset. But you know,
oh yeah, I'd be pissed if after 10 years my project just immediately got shut down.
But similar to
and I wasn't
how,
even charging money for it.
Right. It's similar to how like people were upset with me for the criticisms I gave to Metroid. They'll also be upset with my viewpoint on this as far as like I actually do think Nintendo does have a right to do what they want. Although, are they kind of being dicks?
We're done.
Yeah,
Digicast
they
is
are.
We're done. We're done. I can't work with this guy. We're done. No, I agree. I agree with you. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I mean, I had to get, you know, my bullshit in there. No, I totally agree with you. They have a right to do with, you know, what they want with their property, but should they?
It's just a shame because, I mean, Nintendo has not really used Metroid. I mean, the most recent Metroid game we're getting, aside from Federation Force, was Other M, and that was 6 years ago now. So I'm not that surprised that we're you know, seeing fan games of Metroid because people miss it, and and it's not the biggest franchise of all time, but it's definitely a well-known Nintendo franchise.
I actually think a lot
of realsies though. This game is beautiful. I haven't actually seen any screenshots of it. Like, this is gorgeous.
Wow. It does look completely on par with all the other 2D titles, and like, you know, people just want a traditional Metroid game again. The Federation Force, I think, actually for a lot of people was not quite as bad as they expected it to be, but like, we just want a regular old Metroid game, as it's famously known for, with exploration and Samus Aran. People just want to see that again, and so the fans were basically like, well, we have this thing, and Nintendo was like, no.
That's such a shame. That's such a damn shame. God,
I mean, they're absolutely allowed to do that.
By the way, I posted a picture on here, Nate, if you want to look at it. It is beautiful.
I will look at it.
Exactly, I mean, like Fusion and Super Metroid.
It's exactly like Super
Metroid. Post this
on
on the screen right now.
It's very
nice. Post it in the video. Wow. That's beautiful. But yeah, I mean, Nintendo does have the right because it is their IP, but at the same time, they're not using it. So it's just frustrating.
The only thing I can come up with is, are they afraid that people won't buy Metroid 2 on the 3DS eShop? I mean, is that really, like, is that it?
It's kind of hard to tell.
I don't know
honestly.
if there's another reason for that. I mean, I guess it's the same with the Super Mario 64 like HD demo that the guy made, but I mean, it wasn't the full game. It was the first level, and even that was stripped of features. And it's just a cool little thing to have.
Game.
And you know, Daddy Long Dick Nintendo just comes in and like, I don't even. Where do I even come up with these things? Why do you guys let me on here? Why do people want me back? I just spur bullshit all the time. Really though, I mean, it's just a shame. I'm gonna shut up for a second.
I think it is a shame, and I think that what Nintendo is wanting to do is they just want to exercise control. But I think in a lot of ways, Nintendo still lives in the past with a lot of things. They believe that they not only kind of like want to throw out nostalgia as a product, but I also kind of feel like they live in nostalgia internally, like as a company, because the idea of like restricting this kind of content in this day and age really is not like Sony and Microsoft have basically just embraced this, as well as many other companies. They just embrace it, and they embrace Twitch and streaming and Let's Plays and all that stuff because like it really does help advertise the brand. And not only that, but even if you're trying to cut this off, like you really can't anyway. We've said that they've taken this down, but the truth is you can still go out there and get this. Like if you kill, it's just like Napster and music, right? Like if you take one of these down, it doesn't matter. It's already out there. It's still out there anyway. So what you might as well do at that point is embrace it. I'm not necessarily saying like anything as far as like what's the right thing one way or another. I'm just saying that that's the reality. Once it's out there, it's out there.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
true.
Once you post something on the internet, it's never going to leave, ever.
Yeah, very true. Now, Pokemon Uranium, it's kind of the same exact discussion here. I have no idea. I don't know a single thing about this.
That
I
game
just saw
was
it sprout
also
up out of
9
nowhere.
years in development. I did a little
God.
research on that. It got 1,500,000 downloads before Nintendo's
hell.
lawyers
Yes.
attacked them.
Good.
And I mean, obviously, like with Metroid 2, you can still find unofficial sites that host Pokemon Uranium if you really want it. But I mean, over 1 million downloads in like 2 days before Nintendo made the official owners take it down. That is crazy.
That's almost pointless at that point. It's gonna be on like 1 billion people's Google Drives, and yes, I
Yeah.
know that math is totally off. I don't care. It's gonna be out there.
Yeah, Pro Jared, I saw on Twitter the other day, he said he was streaming Pokemon Uranium.
Oh, that's
So-
God, that's fantastic.
I mean, a lot of people have it.
I love Nintendo, and God, I despise them at the same time.
I really think what they ought to do with these fan projects though, because there was also like Super Mario 64 HD or whatever.
Yeah.
They ought to reach out to these people who are doing real game development when it comes down to it. They ought to just reach out to them and say like, hey, you know, we'll just help you, and we'll release this and we'll throw it onto the eShop and we'll license it and all this stuff, and you know, cut them a deal, like instead of just shutting all this stuff down, because fans would probably be fine to pay for it if they had to pay for it. I don't think it's because all of these things are things that people want. Like that's how they gain popularity in the first place.
Yeah,
And there are some game companies that do that. I can't think of any specifically, but I know that there's been more Western companies that'll find fan projects of certain games, and then they'll hire them to help them make the game that the fan was originally making. So it's not like it's out of the question.
Well, that's exactly what happened with Counter-Strike. Like that was the birth of Counter-Strike.
Yep, exactly.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are we waiting for me to chime in? Sorry. I literally have not gone a day without watching The Office probably for the past like 3 weeks. So I just was in my own place, just humming the theme. What did you guys even say the last minute? I was so out of it.
Don't worry about it.
All right, cool.
We
I'll-
can move on to the next topic.
Cool. I will listen in, and I will put my 2 cents on Twitter while I'm editing this.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay, next up, let me look at my phone. I have it in our conversation.
Come on, Jacob.
I'm
Next time
prepared.
you're printing out a list and you're stapling it on your wall. And that way you'll be able to see what we're talking about.
God. Let's go ahead and talk about the NX. Let's talk about this pile of bullshit. Okay, Nintendo. Where is the... You show it to us already, goddamn.
So
What
which rumor
is
do you like
the Nintendo
the most?
NX?
Okay. I think a lot of people know what I want. If you had followed me on here when I was doing things here, why does my waveform look so tiny on Audacity? Whatever. Anyway, if you guys follow me on here, you would know that I am a huge advocate for the 3DS and the Wii U basically just merging into one thing. and just having a console handheld hybrid that's powerful enough to run AAA games, but I don't know exactly how that would come to fruition because of power consumption and that issue. So I don't really know what I want.
I know what I want from the NX.
Yeah, you go for it. I'm just kind of here.
I already talked to you guys about this, but I wanted to share this with everyone else. So the NX is going to be a fleshlight because it's going to bring back the hardcore audience. That's what it's going to be.
The hardcore
God,
players.
Guaranteed.
you were saving that. You had
Yep.
that just tucked in the holster, just ready to just pop off in our face.
It's the greatest pun I've ever come up with, I think.
It was pretty. I was laughing. I'm not gonna lie. When you texted, I was taking a shit, and I really enjoyed it. So, just being honest, I had some good ideas while I was taking a shower this morning. I was just thinking to myself, as I was scratching my scrotum, how do we? Okay, this whole quality of life thing, right? Why don't we merge the quality of life in the Nintendo NX into one unified console and we come up with gadgets like, say, the scrotum scratcher? I would kill for when I'm out in public. Stay with me, guys. Stay with me. I would kill when I'm out in public to have a little mini robot that I could just send down into my pants and scratch my scrotum area so I wouldn't have to awkwardly try to do it through my pocket. That would improve my quality of life.
Jacob.
Well, here's the thing.
Just
Go ahead,
real quick, I guess, Jacob.
I think I just blew your minds with that.
Well,
tell me I'm not right.
NB is probably about to say the same thing I am here, but that was actually already a rumor that's out there, and it's already been confirmed that is one of the peripherals that they're coming out with. So you'll be very happy to hear that.
I'm on board with Nintendo again. That is fantastic.
There
You
you
can
go.
take all the stuff you want off the internet. Just give me a scrotum scratcher, and I'll be on my way.
That's
happy.
right.
Well, what's interesting is that I almost see Pokemon Go as part of their quality of life thing because it forces you to go outside and walk around, improving your quality of life, giving you exercise.
That's actually a real, just being serious here, that's actually, that's a really good parallel. I never even thought about that.
Yeah.
See, this is why I have you guys, so I'm not just here doing random crap. So you guys have me, you pull me back into
You're
reality.
welcome.
It's depressing and good at the same time.
The only problem with Pokemon Go is that I haven't really played that much of it, and I don't think any of us here have. Or, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but
I would probably play more if I had the time to. I'm always just working, so.
I also don't know how much it actually does force you to go outside, because I think about playing it, and I'm like, I don't really feel like going outside right now. I don't feel like walking around to go look for Pokemon.
It does force you to walk around a lot. I mean, I have a friend of mine, he plays a lot of Pokemon Go. He does that on his channel a lot. And he walks several miles a day catching Pokemon. So,
Wow.
gets a lot of exercise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was already like a twig, so I haven't lost any weight. Yeah. But, I mean, I take mad offense to what you said about me not playing. I mean, I'm clearly a Pokemon master. I have all the Pokemon
Even Mewtwo.
on Pokemon Go.
And all the legendaries.
I have all of them in my pocket. And I don't even know where I'm going. I don't even know where I'm going with this. I was trying to be funny, but I'm just, that wasn't even funny. Like, I don't even know what I'm saying. I haven't played any Pokemon Go. I played like 2 minutes of it, and yeah, I mean, it was fun. I caught a Pidgey and a Fearow. So
It seems like fun.
I was
just
happy.
I personally don't have the time to play it. So,
it was neat in the sense that, oh, cool, this is Pokemon in real life, but there was nothing to grip me and keep me going. Like, I didn't get into the battling. I haven't battled anyone. I don't know what that's like.
Actually,
Is it
can
like
I
Pokemon Stadium or something?
I got to tell you guys a story about
Go for it.
So this is actually kind of a little bit of a side rant, right? Like, I was at work, and I probably shouldn't even say I was at work, but okay, let's just say hypothetically I was at work, and hypothetically I heard some fellow coworkers discussing Pokemon Go. And
Just to be clear, this is hypothetically, right?
this is all hypothetical. This
Awesome.
is
Good.
this is imaginary. I'm just making this up as I go for the purposes
Good.
of this podcast and publicly what may or may not have actually happened.
We're all about the entertainment factor here on Digicast.
I cannot
That's
confirm
okay.
nor deny. Anyway, so these people were basically talking about Pokemon Go, and this was like 2 or 3 days after it came out or whatever. I don't remember exactly, but they were basically talking about how people who play Pokemon Go, they must be wasting their time, and it was like this whole stupid thing where it comes back to where like a lot of people out there for whatever reason, I don't know why, because I've mentioned before that like the video game industry is bigger than Hollywood now, but in the year 2016 there's still people out there that think that like the only people playing video games are like little kids or people who live in their mother's basement and just waste their time doing that. I guess I don't know, it just blows my mind. But they were basically saying that oh, I don't have time to play Pokemon Go because I have a job. They literally said this. Like this.
What?
Like, yeah, and I was like, so it's on your mobile phone. You have time to scroll through Facebook or Twitter or whatever, and like you're on your phone at least every 10 minutes anyway. But you don't have time to play this game that's already there on your phone as you're walking around. Anyway, but
it's because it's video games, man. But people are always going to be like that.
But here's the most baffling part of it to me is that they were...
Oh, there's more.
They were saying this on the same day that Nintendo's stock shot up by $9 billion. And so, you know, yeah, yeah. There you go. Well, it just brings up this
For the nerds.
idea of like...
We did it.
So, yeah, let's just dismiss it. It's $9 billion.
We did it.
But, you know, let's just dismiss it. It's just a bunch of nerds wasting their time. And, yeah, it's meaningless. And I don't have time to do that because I'm a real winner with my desk job because I'm not playing
exactly.
Pokemon Go. Anyway, I just wanted to...
That guy is the epitome of being a fragile little man who probably has a 2-inch dick. Let's be honest. Probably what he's got packing down there. There's no shame in talking about his dick because he's probably got a small one.
Actually, that actually makes perfect sense
who
because
has a big dick or not, guys.
It was actually a woman saying this, so anyway,
I'm right. I got it. I'm on it. Anyway,
in which case,
well, here's the thing: the people that think video games are a waste of time watch several hours of TV every day.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So if you tell them that, they'll be like, "Oh, I'm not wasting my time. I'm just relaxing." Oh, so video games can't be relaxing for us, right? Is that the case?
No, it's because we're all weebs who live in our anime basements. That's just how it is, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, the way I look at it is a lot of these people grew up, you know, in the 80s, in the 90s, where video games were there, but they weren't prevalent in society. Now you see people constantly talking. Like I work at a Verizon, and all of us, you know, are in our mid-20s, almost 30s. We're all sitting around talking about games, and you know, we're all talking about games and sports and movies and entertainment, just all these different things. Video games have become ingrained in culture now, because all of us who are in our 20s, we grew up with that. So it's just a much easier mentality to come across than someone who's in their 40s who still thinks that if you pop open, Super Mario, whatever. Wow, I like Nintendo. I can't even think of a Mario game right now. That's pathetic. Super Mario 3D World, whatever. I'll say that. They think that you're like a 5-year-old who needs mental help. No, that's just not how it is anymore. That could have been how it was maybe, in the 70s and 80s. I don't know. I wasn't there. But that's not how it is anymore.
Well, back then, everything was kind of geared towards kids. So it kind of makes sense for the older generations to think that people that play video games still have a childish mindset, but I don't think, obviously they're not keeping up with how much games have really matured. I mean, now they're for all sorts of ages.
I would say, then why is there a mature rating? Boom.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really as simple as that.
It's not just that, but even if video games were pretty much exclusively for kids, this thing of I have a job, I'm high and mighty. Video games are huge money these days. Cash money, huge, super huge. They really are though. There are billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars, and some of these titles have budgets that are larger, $200 million budgets, and larger than Pirates of the Caribbean and Star Wars.
Yeah,
and
larger than AAA movies.
That's right. And so it's insane to me that someone would just crack off with remarks like that, but whatever.
Well, the biggest problem is the news media. If you ever see video games on the news, it's never a good thing.
Yeah, it's always villainizing.
More
Even Pokemon Go. Every single story about Pokemon Go, as great of an app as that is, they have to make it seem like the most evil thing. Oh, it's dangerous to walk around in Pokemon Go or whatever.
Yeah, it's dangerous. Like, all these parents were constantly telling their kids, go outside, go outside. Well, now we have a reason, and you want them to come back inside. That makes sense.
You can't be happy. And
Exactly.
I almost
People just want a
wonder
reason
if,
to bitch. That's what it is.
I almost wonder if the media is so negative against video games is because they haven't found a way to profit off of it yet. Because, I mean, with TV, they make a profit from that. So, no, they're not going to say anything bad about that. But video games, they have no way of making money from that. So why not talk negatively about it?
That's exactly why ESPN is finally starting to embrace AAA.
Esports.
Yeah. Why was I saying AAA gaming? Esports. Because they found a way to, hey, let's stream this and let's get some advertising revenue from it. Let's get some monies because we are cool with video games now. We don't think they're for kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, ESPN is, I mean, as much as I could care less about sports, at least they're paying attention to the video game industry a little bit.
Yeah, I think I saw something on ESPN the other day where some Twitch stream made more advertising revenue than some event in football. I don't remember it wasn't the Super Bowl. I don't remember what it was.
That's very specific, Jacob. That's very specific.
I know, that's what I'm here for. I'm here for the facts. That's why I'm on this podcast. But
It was probably a Smash something.
it was for Dota. I think it was for Dota 2.
Oh, for Dota. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Dota and StarCraft are a lot bigger than Smash, actually, competitively.
Yeah. Did you say painfully?
No, competitively.
Oh, painfully. Painfully. These
Painfully.
games are bigger. I would rather gouge my eyeballs out than watch those games. I don't know how anyone sits and watches. Like, League
I
of
mean,
Legends
you'd really
competitively.
have to understand it.
I mean, I guess even then, like, God, look at it. It's the most dreadful, boring game I've ever watched. I'm probably offending someone, but I just don't care. You guys wanted me back on Digicast. This is what you get.
I'm completely lost right now.
I don't even know what we're going, but let's get back on NX. NX topic.
Yeah,
That's
actually,
where we
okay,
started
yeah.
here.
So actually, on the point of NX and as far as Nintendo's direction with that, one question I have for you guys is, and it kind of goes back to a little bit of the whole nostalgia note. Do you think that Nintendo kind of doesn't realize that a lot of adults want to see more out of their content, or do you kind of feel like they're living in the past with this, and do you think that that's going to be expressed with the NX?
It's really hard to tell. Like, the only teaser we've gotten is the NX is coming out in March, so it's not easy to speculate something like that.
Right.
the way they handle everything, like their advertising, I'd say the way that they handle doing, Nintendo Directs, things like that, it's just, I'm drawing a blank at like how I want to say this, but it's just, again, it's the way their mindset is, the way they handle everything. I don't think that they understand that a lot of adults like their content. I think that Game Freak does with Pokemon, because if you look at Pokemon Go, I mean, all the characters are, 20-year-olds. They're not like little children sprites anymore. They're all 20-year-olds. I think Game Freak gets that, but I don't think Nintendo does, because everything
that's a
they
good
advertise
point.
is to kids. They always advertise to children. So that's just how I see it.
And I think that even though adults kind of grew up with it, I think that they're actually more along the lines of thinking, well, we want to strike nostalgia chords in the parents, but they don't realize that the parents are gamers, like, still to this day, or some kind of. I just feel like that there's some kind of significant disconnect, honestly, with how they actually interpret their market and their audience.
Yeah.
And it might be different in Japan too. They might be mainly targeting the Japanese market, which could be completely different from ours.
Right.
That's a good point. That's actually a really good point. The way Nintendo runs their company is mainly driven to the Japanese audience. And that's fine. If they want to do that, that's their company, that's okay. But they have to realize that Japan is not the only market out there. That's the big thing.
I actually don't know about that, because I think that the majority of the money that they bring in is from North America. Is that not true? I mean, I don't know, but
I mean, I would think so as well, but since they are centered in Japan, maybe that's just their main focus.
maybe so.
From consoles, yeah, that's true, because they make more money on consoles outside of Japan than they do, inside Japan, because handhelds are the dominant thing there. But what I was talking about is all their franchises, everything seems to be slightly geared more towards Japan. That's one reason I think we haven't seen a Metroid game. We haven't seen F-Zero. I mean, I don't think racing games are very big in Japan.
Yeah, it's why we're seeing so much Fire Emblem recently too, because that's definitely a more Japan cultured game. Japanese culture
Yeah.
game.
Yeah. Yeah, but as far as the next goes, I don't even like care at this point. I just want to see what that shit is just now, please.
I'll be a lot more interested if they just release like one trailer at least.
Just something like confirm if it's a console or a handheld or both. If I know one of
Yeah.
those, I will at the very least feel like discussing it more.
It really
But,
worries
yeah.
me that they're waiting until the last minute to announce it. Honestly,
Yeah, it worries me too.
It either means they have something really, really great coming up, or they're just gonna rush out something really quickly.
Yeah. What I've been telling people is there are 3 things that will make me buy an NX. One being a Diddy Kong Racing sequel, which I probably will never see, and
That
I really
won't
should
happen.
I really should stop thinking it will. 2, if I see, I'm gonna piss off a lot of people, an actual 3D Mario game. 3,
Yes.
an F-Zero game. None of those I'm probably going to see, and I just really need to accept that and move on with my life, but I can't because I just love it so damn much, and I want to see it.
I actually think I think you're probably right to say Diddy Kong Racing 2 is not gonna happen, but I think F-Zero
It's not.
definitely has a future, just primarily on the basis of like we've had Falcon in the Smash Brothers games for like forever now, and people are still asking for F-Zero. I mean, people are asking for Diddy Kong Racing 2 as well, but the thing is I don't know for sure, but I feel like Diddy Kong Racing 2, there might be like some IP, like legal related stuff maybe that would make that a little
That's
more
probably
difficult.
what it is.
Yeah, whereas F-Zero, they can be like, yeah, well, we can do an F-Zero. Why not?
Well, actually, speaking of Diddy Kong Racing, I don't know if any of you have ever heard of this, but on the GameCube, there was a game coming out called Donkey Kong Racing.
I have. If it's about
And-
Diddy Kong Racing, I've heard of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
I want a sequel.
that was basically the spiritual successor, but that game got canned because Rare got bought by Microsoft, and we never saw the light of day. So that's probably why we've never seen a sequel, is because that project got canned and maybe turned into something else at Microsoft. I really don't know.
It got turned into Banjo Pilot on the GBA. I'm telling you, literally every single facet about Diddy Kong Racing I know because I am a crazy ass obsessed with it. I just want
it's a great
something.
game.
Just give me that. Why have we not had Diddy Kong as a racer in Mario Kart for like the last 10 years?
Yeah.
Just a side
That's-
note
Yeah.
on the point.
That's what I hold on to. That's my hope I hold on to.
On the point of Rare, by the way, I will never ever understand why Nintendo let Rare go. Like
I know.
they
Yeah.
did not have to do that. They could have saved it. They had every ability to hang on to Rare, and they just didn't. And it blows my mind because like some of the best games in Nintendo's history came out of those developers, and those guys know what they're doing. And now look at Yooka-Laylee.
Maybe Nintendo will just buy Playtonic Games.
Oh, that'd be so great. Just don't even get. Oh, damn it.
It
It's
would
not
be
gonna happen,
amazing,
but what if
but-
that did? Yeah.
I had to take my glasses off.
You know
my
what
eyes.
though? I bet Playtonic. It would depending on how successful Yooka-Laylee is going to become. It wouldn't actually surprise me if Playtonic, even if such an offer were to happen, they would just say no, because they actually did hate a lot of the restrictions that they were under while they were doing Nintendo content.
I don't know they're under restrictions.
Are you being serious? Well, I mean,
Like,
I mean,
what do you mean?
do I need to actually?
How he acted like
Maybe
you're
I
the
just heard
biggest
you
idiot.
wrong. I probably just understood you wrong, or I did not understand you.
I don't think I should have found it as funny as I did, but it's just
I mean,
it was that moment of silence where he was trying to process like if you're being serious or not, and just oh man, that really wasn't that funny, but it was at the same time. That was great. No, I actually didn't know that either. I didn't realize they had a lot of restrictions. Just to keep the
Are you
conversation
serious?
flowing here. Let's move on to Color Splash. I'm ready.
in all seriousness,
All right,
though,
Jacob.
for anyone listening who is not
No,
aware,
let me get this out. Let me get this fact out.
let me just say, because I'm sure we have a lot of fanboyism that glides through our channel. Nintendo is pretty much a very well-known tyrant to third parties. Surprise! But that's actually not the only reason that they don't have third-party support. But it definitely doesn't help, right?
Yeah, it does not help.
That's all I'll say. But I do promise that some people listening to this may not be aware of that fact. They will soon be aware of it, though.
That is awesome.
I can say that much.
Oh, sorry. Did I just say that loud? My friend just sent me a picture of him on No Man's Sky, and he said found a Death Star, and it's like this planetoid that looks so much like the Death Star. That's so crazy. All right. Anyway, sorry.
Cool.
Was I talking about movies? Oh, how dare I? Ugh.
Color
anyway,
Splash.
Let's move on. Yeah, Color Splash. Okay.
Are you ready to talk about Color Splash?
I don't think I am. Scott. Okay. There, if you guys aren't aware, there is this new Paper Mario game coming out, and it is under the subtitle of Color Splash. And
It makes Jacob spread colorful words.
yeah,
Pretty much.
a lot of people have been requesting me to come back and talk about this, and I don't know if I want to. It doesn't make me feel good when I do. I feel hollow inside when I think about that game. So I'm just going to do the best I can and start from the top. So Paper Mario Color Splash got announced, like, I think the week after I left Digicast, which is great timing. And as we see, it is Sticker Star 2.0. Now, the thing with people saying that they don't see the problem with Color Splash or Sticker Star, you're basically saying that it's okay for Nintendo to 100% flip-flop a franchise, which is fine. I'm not saying that's not okay. What I'm saying is they flip the franchise and they're telling people to blow off, screw you, go play the Mario and Luigi games. When you have a passionate group of fans who are looking for something in a genre or in a video game, that's probably the worst thing you can do, is tell them to screw off and that their opinion doesn't matter. You just don't do that. I mean, again, it's totally fine. It's their IP. They can do what they want with it, but I don't have to support it.
Federation Force. Federation Force.
Anyway, and I agree with you there. I actually think Federation Force looks like fun, but I do agree with you in that point.
Sorry, Jacob. I had something in my throat. I don't even know what you're talking about. Anyway.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I get it. But what I tell people with the Paper Mario games, with the new Paper Mario games, is imagine Kingdom Hearts 1 with just the shit platforming that game had, with no battling, with just Sora jumping around like a big dick, not knowing what he's supposed to do. That's what Paper Mario is to me now. It is just a pointless action-adventure game that doesn't know what it wants to be. Sticker Star was literally broken in various places. People aren't just upset with the no battling. People are upset that there's no giant world that can be explored all in one cohesive nature. People are upset that there are no partners. People are upset that there's no story. People are upset that, again, the battling is literally pointless. Because even with this game, people are saying, "Oh, what was Color Splash? You can battle and you can up your paint gauge thing. Fuck, I don't know." And then the only thing you do with your paint gauge is you color shit with it. It's a pointless feature. You color cards with it in battles. So if you up your paint gauge from battling and then you can add more paint to cards in battle, what is the goddamn point?
You splash colors. You color splash.
That's where I'm at. I'm actually grabbing my hair because I don't get it. And I'm trying.
I think Nintendo always tries to do something new and original.
And that's
which is nice, but sometimes there's, if something works, there's no reason to try to refix it.
Yeah,
and I think they just went too far with Paper Mario.
They're doing the same thing that Sonic kept doing, is they keep trying to reinvent the wheel. And they're basically telling fans who are telling them, like, we don't like this, to just not have an opinion and play something else then. Which, again, you can do that. It's just not smart to do that.
You need to be careful if you're going to do that, because you don't want to take away too much from what the original product was. Like, it's fine.
Exactly.
Obviously, there's nothing wrong with innovation. That's a really good thing. But if you lose what you originally had, that's where people are going to start getting upset. And the Color Splash and Sticker Star lost so much of what the original two games had. which is why people don't like them as much.
Yeah, and people know my thoughts about Super Paper Mario. I'm not a fan of the game, but at least that game had the things other than battling that I still enjoyed about the original 2 games. Sticker Star, the only reason people bought Sticker Star is because they saw Paper Mario was an up-and-coming franchise and they saw that this was going to be a return to form. But the advertising did not tell you that there was no battling, like actual meaningful battling. So people bought that and were pissed off. So I'm very interested to see how many people buy Color Splash because everyone knows what Nintendo's going to do with that franchise now. And I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. I do not want to talk about this game anymore. So take it, guys.
Don't have to anymore.
Take it, guys, please.
Jacob, are you ready to stop talking about Color Splash now?
Yes.
I actually, I don't understand. I don't understand, like, how they actually are innovating with that, to be honest.
They're not.
Yeah.
Well, they're just trying something different. I mean, it's not necessarily innovative what they're doing, but
Okay.
What's weird about that, though, is that, like, they basically said, here's the thing that people like, and this is really successful, and now we need to do something. Well, who am I kidding? They did that same thing with, like, almost everything else they do, but whatever. But yeah, I mean, they took what was basically done in previous games, and they said, that sold really well, that did really well, people really liked it, let's do something that is not that, even though people just want more of that. And I'm not necessarily saying that they should be producing the same game over and over again, although that is, to a very large extent, with many of their titles, what they do a lot. Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure some people would disagree with me about that, but I feel like they do that. But yeah, like, as far as Color Splash is concerned, especially given that this is one of the farewell titles, so to speak, I would imagine that they would probably, like, stick to what works. I don't know.
Yeah. I wish.
with RPGs, you really gotta be careful how much you change things. Because, I mean, look at Final Fantasy. That series, I don't know a lot about it, but I do know that the newer games have changed dramatically compared to the older ones, and people don't seem to like them nearly as much.
Final Fantasy 1 through 9, same game. Pretty much. Same game. Like, there's little things changes here and there, but it's ultimately the same exact experience, just different graphics. Final Fantasy X did a little bit different. Final Fantasy XI was an MMO. Final Fantasy 12 did a little bit different, but ultimately, Final Fantasy 1 through 12, aside from 11, are the same. Final Fantasy 13 is where shit hit the fan and was horrible. And Final Fantasy 15 looks pretty good, as far as I'm concerned. It just looks like more realistic Kingdom Hearts. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, that's what I noticed. I had a similar vibe to that.
But again, one last thing that I am going to say about Color Splash, because I know people are going to address it in the comments, and I just have to say it now, otherwise I won't get to say my piece. Color Splash is not... Okay, Paper Mario is not the same as Mario and Luigi. People are going to compare it naturally because they're two Mario RPGs, but they're not the same. Mario and Luigi is much more centered around the aspect of wackiness and fast-paced fighting, and it has a rhythmic vibe and combat to it. It's much more action-driven. Paper Mario is much more laxed, laid-back action RPG that had limited HP, so it was much more tactical. You could play in 3 and 4 turns ahead of things, and it wasn't... Like, even the crowd aspect of Thousand Year Door had such a deep element of gameplay to it where people were just watching you fight. Like, it was unique. Mm-hmm. And that's it. That's all I got to say. I'm not going to argue with anyone in the comments about it. That is all I have to say about Color Splash. I am giving this game a chance. I have watched literally every piece of gameplay I can find on it. I think the game is breathtakingly gorgeous. I want to play it. I want to love it. But I just, as it stands right now, I just don't think I will. But... And that's it.
Is it that good?
That is it.
Because I think I want to say it was you who I saw commenting on, like, the fact that you have like 20 toads just there on the same screen.
Oh yeah, and that's what I was saying earlier about, like, there's no characters. Sticker Star and Color Splash literally are just toads. Toads and Shy Guys just reskin. Holy shit, that's all we get. So, and that's what I'm saying, is like, there's no world building. It's just Mario being bland as shit.
The toads that are there, though, they look really good.
Oh, they do. That wide outline is very appealing.
Very circly, very pretty.
Very
Yeah.
appealing.
Oh, it's like a perfect
No,
paper curve.
Really though, I will. The one thing I will say about this game that is good so far, from what I've seen, is the music sounds stellar, and the graphics. They have captured paper animation in all its freaking glory. Looks beautiful. That's what I want Paper Mario to look like. That's not what I want it to do, but that's what I want it to look like. And I think that's good for right now. Let's have a break. My brain hurts. Well, shall we dive into some questions, boys?
Sure. I have some Twitter questions.
All right, I'll let you pop in with those.
All right, so this one is from Scott Lee. We're not going to read that one.
Big fan.
I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan. That's how I got here.
Digicast fan.
Here's a good
God,
one.
how did
This
you
one's
live
from,
the last 4 months with me not on the channel? You must have been just awful, shit face.
I was angry, and I was commenting every day on your videos saying that I wanted Jacob and John to come back, and I was furious, and that I hate this channel, and I said I was going to unsubscribe, but instead of doing that, I actually didn't unsubscribe. I started a show and then sent it to you, and then
and this is where I sat back in my chair, my evilest chair, and was like, ha ha ha. So I get ad revenue for it.
And as far as how much money I make, I almost have enough to pay for the cardboard box that I live in. And I had a cheeseburger this afternoon, and it was good. But that's the best meal I've had in the past
that
week.
You've eaten in months.
And I'm so hungry.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, Nathaniel, give us the actual question.
Okay, this one is from Thomas Livingstone. He says, it's for all of us. He says, what's the most embarrassing thing you've ever done?
Oh God. Could someone
Why don't we
else go
start with
first? I have to
you?
think about it.
Honestly, I saw it got posted, and I had to think about this for a little bit. But it was probably when I was like 6 or 7. I was in like karate, because when you're a little kid, I don't know. I guess in my neighborhood, like most kids that age got sent to martial arts.
Just bust off to martial arts.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah,
come
yeah.
back till you make daddy
No,
proud.
for real. Although it doesn't really help you much in the real world, but I was in like a karate school or whatever. It's like an open like gym environment, and I don't know why. I've probably blocked part of this out, but I totally peed my pants in the middle of like everything and everyone. And it was really traumatic, honestly. I was extremely... So, yeah, that's probably mine. Although, a lot of people have.
And he never peed again.
I never did, and I really got to go right now. No, yeah, a lot of people have worse moments than that, though, but I've had it pretty good, honestly. That's about as bad
I can think of... I just thought of one, finally.
Yeah, go for it.
I guess I'll share it. All right. It wouldn't be that embarrassing now, but this was embarrassing when I was 12 years old. So I remember this was in 6th grade. I was in class, and there's this friend of mine that sat to me. He wasn't really a friend. He was like an asshole, but I was still friends with him because like we were neighbors. But anyway, there was this girl in this class, and to be politically correct, she was not the most attractive. Nobody liked her. She was really mean. And it was Valentine's Day, and my so-called friend sent her a love note that he wrote, and she read it in front of like the whole class.
Oh, that sucks, man.
Oh my God, I was so angry and embarrassed at the same time. It was terrible.
Oh, that sucks. I mean, Scott's yours sucks too, but like, you just pee when you're 6. It just happens.
Yeah.
I mean, I just peed all over the place when I was 6. But like, that sucks, man.
Yeah. It happened, but I mean, it's whatever. It's whatever now.
My most embarrassing thing was probably when I left Digicades. Okay, seriously, I have nothing.
It's only
feel like-
embarrassing because you came back, though. That's the only reason that it's so embarrassing.
That is true. That is funny. The best part about it is the fact that we have lost subscribers since I've been back, but the views have stayed the same. So they're probably like, "Oh, I'm still subscribed to this channel. Unsubscribe." I mean, to be honest, like I really haven't done, or I haven't really had anything embarrassing happen to me. I feel like I've kind of just had a standard life. I mean, I usually am kind of sneaky. I know how to get around stuff, so I don't really have anything like that happen to me. And I don't get embarrassed easily, so I've probably had stuff happen to me that I haven't found embarrassing because I just don't give a shit. Usually, I'm a pretty chill guy. I understand that's not what everyone wanted to hear, but that's what I got.
Basically, what Jacob is saying though is that what I really should have done when I was like 6 or 7, or however old I was, is I should have like embraced the pee and just like stood there confidently, you know, and been like, "Yeah, I did.
peeing.
Yeah, so what? I don't
Lived
care."
with it. Yeah, man, I don't care. It's pee. You do it too.
That's right.
That's great. I see one from Matthew the Hylian. He said, speaking of grinding, have you gotten all the Skulltulas in Hyrule Warriors yet? Actually, I restarted Hyrule Warriors because I got Hyrule Warriors Legends. And it is absolutely fantastic. I have already put like 40 plus hours into it, and I got it like a couple weeks ago. It is wonderful. I am not tired of that game. I have all the Skulltulas in the basic legend mode, and I'm working on the DLC ones.
You want to know what's really funny? When we were doing our podcast a year and a half ago, you were still talking about Hyrule Warriors.
I'm always talking about Hyrule Warriors to this day. It's great.
I'm still
One from Scott Lee here is, are there more questions we should answer beyond these? Scott asks.
yeah, that was my
Like that
question.
asshole.
You know, we weren't going to actually say that one, but you just said it, so thanks.
I know. I know. I ruined it for everyone. Let's see. I'll let Nathaniel bounce one back. I don't know what you got. I'll answer
Yeah,
whatever.
I have a few other good ones. So I have, what is your first ever Pokemon game?
For me,
Mine was. I don't even have to think about this. Mine was red.
I think mine was actually red as well. Yeah.
Yeah, mine was blue.
Oh,
Pokemon Blue.
you had to be the blue guy.
Loser.
There's always a blue guy.
Well, okay, I had red and blue, so I was actually special, but I just chose to play
so now
blue
you're the
first.
rich kid.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
obviously. I'm the rich guy.
Lucky you.
No, it was like most people. I had red, and my brother had blue. We swapped and shared. We both got yellow, then we both got gold and silver when it came out. Loved all of them.
There you go.
They're all great. But yeah, red was my first.
You see, there are a few
Dang it,
more.
I wanted to see
questions,
how
but they're
long
not
we
that
could let
good.
that silence go.
Let's do it anytime. Anytime. Let's just have a nice minute of silence.
Yeah, we'll just let that magically pop up. It's ruined by Nathaniel now. Go ahead, read a question, Nathaniel. Okay.
That's as long as we're going. Okay, let's see. We have by Rotfulmaster. Would you rather have diabetes or diabetes?
Actually, I think you said it wrong. I think it's meant to be diabetes.
Whatever. Do you want diabetes or diabetes? Which one?
I'll take diabetes because I don't know what that is, and my daddy's got diabetes and it's bad.
I feel like
I'll take the
diabetes
diabetes.
is like an extra, really bad version of diabetes. So I would probably go with like the less severe diabetes. But that's just my perception.
Yeah.
Cool. I'll do the one that'll kill me first.
Seems right.
God, I'm popping my toes. It feels good.
By the way, have you guys seen where like the video that comes from for diabetes?
Nope.
With
I
That's
just know
just where I used to live. That's how everyone said it.
I'm gonna have to
so-
send it to both of you guys after
Yeah.
this. It's actually really ridiculous, but anyway,
Oh, really?
that's where they're getting that from. I think. Yeah.
Let's go with Pepe.
Ooh, Pepe. What's
Luigi
up?
Fan
Hype,
Pepe
hype, hype,
said,
man.
And B's number one
how would you
fan.
determine, he said, how would you determine a good game to be? I'll let Scott take it.
How would I determine a good game to be?
Yeah.
He's saying what makes a game fun, basically.
Yeah.
Trust me, I speak Pepe.
Honestly, like the nice thing about games these days is that everyone has something for them. Like no one game fits like every single person, and what I love about games might not be the thing you love about games. So like, you know, for me, like one of my favorite genres is real-time strategy, but I know that like a lot of people absolutely hate it, and they hate like having to think about 40 million different things while they play a game. Some people just want to like get in there and like, you know, this might sound, I'm sure I'll get attacked for this, but like if you want to just play something like Tetris or Candy Crush even, you go right ahead. Like that's why we have all the different games we do. So it's up to you as to what a good game is.
It's a very insightful answer.
I'm gonna get flamed. I'm gonna get absolutely destroyed for saying that.
Oh, I'm sure they won't be too bad.
You'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
The way I would determine a good game is just anything that even remotely resembles Diddy Kong Racing. That's pretty much it.
Or F-Zero.
What do you got, Nathaniel?
Or Star Fox.
Yeah, just something
F-Zero,
fast
yeah.
and racing in my face. That's it.
Fast Racing Neo. There you go.
I don't know what that was. Continue.
I would probably say what makes a game fun is something that I can play in short bursts, because I'm a pretty busy person. I work like a lot of hours a week.
Totally
I mean,
agree.
it's different every week, but something that I can play in short bursts and is something that's just like really addictive, but not in the way I don't know where I'm going with that. Basically, just something that's in short bursts and is really
I get what you're
addicting.
saying.
Yeah.
That's what I like a lot about the resurgence of indie games in the past few years. Like earlier, I was playing Titan Souls, and just fantastic game, by the way, if you haven't played it. Just anything I can pick up for 10 minutes and put down and be satisfied.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Because something that can maintain my interest for longer than that, which most of these games still do, is just an added bonus. Yeah. Well, do you have any more questions?
I don't think so. I thought there was going to be a section where we talk about things you've been up to at the very end.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we'll lump it
not
into the
doing
first. We went into depth with other things. We'll lump it into the next one.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Sounds good.
Next Sunday, we'll be here.
Perhaps we should talk about what the future is of the Digicast.
Oh yeah, I like how you said that. By the way, that was very
Yeah,
deep.
you talked about that at the beginning, though.
Yes.
A little bit. I'll just reiterate it. So yeah, these will be regular podcasts. I'm looking at uploading these anywhere from Sunday nights to Tuesday mornings, roughly every week. We'll see though. Just because I know Scott's busy, Nathaniel's busy, I'm busy. We all work. We all do.
You see,
other
I
things.
say I'm busy, but since I work at home, I can literally make time for anything. So
Yeah, so that's nice.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we will do our best to work around things. Like I said, there may be some weeks where I'm not here, Scott's not here, Nathaniel's not here. It might just be two people. We might even have guests. That might be something we do. I'll just have to see. I really think that this will be a good thing, though. I got a good vibe.
I'm really feeling it.
I am really feeling it.
Sorry,
Hot Shulk reference.
I had to throw in one meme.
Yep, one dirty meme. Okay, that's basically it. We're done here. They'll always kind of follow this format where we just talk about topics, break for a bit. So if I'm talking about anything headache-inducing like today, I can relax, and you can listen to some jazz. So that's that. We're done.
So good.
Make sure to like,
good.
comment, subscribe, favorite, share on all of your social media sites. Favorite all of them. Download the video illegally. Burn it on DVDs and play the podcast for the rest of your
And then
life.
go up to people on the street and say, "Yo, you want to buy some CDs?" And then like distribute
got nothing on
it everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, share it with that one old crazy uncle that still thinks that tapes are the only ways to listen to music. Get it to him too.
Please do
And
this for us.
Put it on VHS.
I think we're good. A VHS, yes, just a black screen of us
Put it on
talking
an
about
NES
this
console.
crap.
Put on an Atari.
Oh God, that's just mean.
Don't give me
do
any
that.
ideas. I really will make that a project if like you put me up to the challenge, but I make no guarantees about when it would be completed.
And with that,
Bye bye.
we'll
I immediately
see you guys
regret
next
saying
time.
that.